What's up, nerds? Remember, it'll all work out if we follow our hearts.
Maybe you should end the podcast like that.
Oh, shit.
It'll all work out if we in these troubled times.
Welcome back to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-hosts Mattson Heiner,
Better red than dead.
Javier Ortiz,
What is up, my nerds?
and Ian Anderson.
Some shit.
All right, guys, don't forget to check out our new website at whatsourverdict.com, where you can sign up for our email list. Very soon we're going to have available some exclusive content, which round 2 of the outtakes have taken place. Last week, couldn't get through the intro. We couldn't do it again this week. So if you want to hear what that shit show sounds like,
And you do.
Really go sign up on our email.
Can we call our outtakes the shit show?
We should. Oh, that's a great idea.
Right?
Oh,
I'm sure it's
beautiful.
being used somewhere, but for our purposes, it'll
Ian,
be
is that in your notes somewhere? You should always take notes because that's a baller
I
recommendation.
should always take
The
those.
What's Our Verdict shit show. That's the greatest.
I'm just all about shit comments.
That's so shit. You did really niche the shit stuff.
He
huh?
did. Just copyright that shit.
Shady walk.
Excuse me. Huge violation right there.
Exactly. So go check out our website. It's fun. It's new, exciting. Sign up for our email list. We'll send you some emails, updates, and exclusive content. I know I haven't talked about it, so I'm dropping a bomb on these guys too, but I think we should do some giveaways through there too once we have enough people. So go get signed up. We'll figure out some shit to give away. Another violation. Sorry, Ian.
Come on, Ian.
Another violation.
Yeah, you just said shit.
I
You're going to
said
let him
shit.
get away with that?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm stealing
I don't have like a monopoly on shit.
Put some hotels on it. All right. Anyway, so this is an arbitration episode, guys. We're going to be comparing 2 similar movies based on shared topics. Today we're comparing the spy thrillers Casino Royale and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Casino Royale was released in 2006. It was written by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade, directed by Martin Campbell. It starred Daniel Craig in his first James Bond appearance, Eva Green, Judi Dench, and Mads Mikkelsen. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol was released in 2011. Written by Bruce Geller, Josh Applebaum. It was directed by Brad Bird. It stars Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, Paula Patton, and Michael Nyqvist. We will be comparing the films on the following topics: agents, the tech, the villains, the team, and we'll talk about the theme songs too, just because.
And the Bond girl.
And the Bond girls are always going to come up. There goes.
There we go.
Okay, nobody wants to hear that shit. All right, so we'll tell you.
Make a great trumpet, JJ.
No, we want to hear Mattson do it, but I jumped into that room. So we'll tell you at the end which one each of us thinks did their genre the best. In Ghost Protocol, the IMF is shut down when it's implicated in the bombing of the Kremlin, causing Ethan Hunt and his new team to go rogue to clear their organization's name. In Casino Royale, after earning his 00 status and a license to kill, secret agent James Bond sets out on his first mission as 007. Bond must defeat a private banker funding terrorists in a high-stakes game of poker at Casino Royale, Montenegro. All right, so let's just jump right in, gentlemen. Let's talk about the agents. Obviously, we're talking about Ethan Hunt and James Bond, Daniel Craig's version. So what'd you guys think?
I think, let's see what I wrote down for James Bond. I wrote sly, smooth, yet seems bullish and cold. And he wears short shorts when he goes to the beach.
I thought that guy was just so weird. What a little creep. Like, if he didn't look the way that he did and he tried delivering those lines to beautiful women, it's so weird.
It's probably true. But I feel like that's just...
I feel like that's true all the time.
I was going to say,
For
that's
like
like
anybody who looks good.
Yeah,
that's like sexy men in general can get away with saying shit like
but like
that. Same
in
with
my
sexy women.
mind, creepiness is not relative, right? Like if
You
something
don't
is
see
creepy,
attractiveness.
right? Exactly. Yeah, I'm attracted blind.
Aren't you the one that wants to talk about the Bond girls?
And then you compare that over to Ethan Hunt and his like goofy aloofness as he tries to save the world and just seems so happy to get punched and thrown
focused,
around.
right? He's got a job to do. He's got a job to do. He's not looking to like bang a chick while there's a lull in what he's doing. He's saving the world.
Bond didn't just bang that chick for no reason. He got information. He got intel, and then she paid for it.
He never banged her though.
Dying. No,
be fair.
he left her with a bottle of wine and caviar.
Champagne.
Classy
Champagne.
for one.
Champagne.
I don't know. Is that a classy move?
I mean,
It's better than nothing. And he saved her marriage
Well, she's dead because
until she died. But
well, you also have to think about the fact that if he actually had slept with her, that airplane would have gone boom.
that's
I
true.
did feel like that was a hard decision for him to make. Like, do I stop a terrorist or
It didn't seem like
do I
it
sleep
though.
with this dude's wife?
It seemed like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he had
No, he looked back, dude. Where he's on the phone. She's like, "Is it for one?" And he's like looking back. He's like, "Wait, what?"
I think he only looked back to make sure she wasn't going to see him leave. I don't think it had anything to do with anything
I
else.
still think he's a little creep.
See, here's okay. So
Short, little creepy dude.
I'll jump in and
Tiny.
He does seem kind of small.
So short. Short, little weird.
I don't feel
little
like
gremlin.
any
dude,
of us
we're
are
comparing him with
qualified.
Tom.
Hey, but that's
Cruise.
actually we need to bring
Shortest
that.
fucking
Tom
superstar
Cruise
on the
is
planet. Are you shitting me right now?
Yeah, he wouldn't be intimidating at all as bad because the people he gets hit by that he doesn't move. Tom Cruise is like he's just like a little ball of.
Yeah, dude. But if we put them both together, it's like a featherweight match. Like both these guys are short, tiny. I don't know.
Hey, James Bond has balls of steel, literally.
Well, now
Yeah,
we're
we'll
jumping
get there.
way up there. I'll tell you right now, I don't like Ethan Hunt in this movie, and I say that because he is goofy, and it's the only one of these movies that he's that goofy. Like, yeah, some one-liners in the other ones, but this one, like, it's constantly like he's making jokes and he's being silly and being weird, and I'm the whole movie I was sitting there going, I remembered why I didn't enjoy this outing of Mission Impossible because. I won't go into the other ones, but there was one that was just horrid all the way around from start to finish. It was bad. This one to
Tell me which one, because now I'm curious.
Two.
Okay, that's
Two
fine. I
was
was thinking the same one.
awful.
Horrible.
But this one had moments that I wanted to really enjoy this movie, but I could not take Ethan Hunt seriously in this one. Like, I just had a hard time with him because he was so.
You didn't like him saying "mission accomplished" as he hits the button.
Yeah, like, and maybe that's what.
Forced
Well, and
comedy.
they even make fun of that in like the final scene.
And maybe that's what it is. It's forced, right?
Yeah.
Like Ian said, it felt forced. Like he was forcing his dialogue and it just was never that way in any of the others. Like he was always pretty serious. And it was the other characters that brought in the comedic relief.
Which Benji does a great job
Oh,
of.
Simon
love
Pegg
that.
is the man.
He's
Which we'll talk about on the team, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, and then on the flip side, so I've been a James Bond fan almost my whole life. Like, there's only one James Bond actor that I can't stand.
Sean Connery.
No, I love Sean Connery. He's the second best James Bond. No, it's fucking
Did you know that, Javier?
That he's the second best one?
Yeah.
Who's the first best one?
Daniel Craig.
Oh, really? The creepy one?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
because he's
Do you think
The
that's
short, creepy
part
one?
in the new style? Because they kind of broke the mold a little bit when they went with
absolutely.
Daniel Craig. So do you think it has more to do with Daniel Craig or the fact that they switched up the way they write some of the movies?
So I think it was both. For me, it's a matter of this movie, especially after the Pierce Brosnan age. Those movies, Pierce Brosnan is the worst James Bond on the planet. Fight me. He's terrible.
Who's that?
Did you say?
Exactly.
Did you say bite me?
No, I said fight
I
me.
just want to check.
If you
that.
disagree, fight me because he's fucking awful. He was a terrible James Bond because the movies were stupid. They were poorly written. They were fucking cartoonish. He spent more time looking at his damn watch that had like 80,000 gadgets in it than he
That
actually
laser.
fucking
Like Go-Go?
did doing
Like
any-
Detective Gadget?
Seriously, like it was campy, it was stupid, it was silly, and that's
Gadget
not
watch.
James Bond. So I hate Pierce Brosnan, and he was so. I just can't stand his character. At none of the James Bonds that he was in, I like, and I love James Bond movies. But Daniel Craig, when he came in this movie, Casino Royale, it changed the feel, like you were saying, and they wrote different. It was more gritty, it was quicker, it was more fast paced. And it was less about the gadgets and the toys and him being a womanizer, even though that's still part of his character, and more about this gritty, dirty, fighting in a bathroom, breaking this dude's head over a fucking sink and beating, and then just coldly shooting people, not even giving two shits about anybody. And I really enjoyed that because to me, that's what a true spy would have to be in order to be what James Bond is supposed to be. You can't be a human being fully and be that kind of a spy, in my opinion, and be that effective. But so that's why I think it's a combination of both. Ian, when you say that, I think the writing got better as a whole, and I think Daniel Craig pulled it off as this disconnected, cold, but very effective spy. So for me, Daniel Craig, James Bond takes it with this comparison.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I liked his straightforward, as I kind of talked about, bullishness, and it fit the movie for me, fit the picture they were trying to paint, where Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible just seemed like a square peg in a round hole, and that's kind of my overarching theme of the movie based off these two characters. But James Bond.
I will agree with Javier because I'm trying to do that more often. In that, I think some of his, I agree that Daniel Craig takes it and James Bond, but there were a couple of lines that he said to the females in this movie that were just kind of like weird. I don't know. Like I'll agree with you, Javier. Like they're kind of creepy,
weird little guy.
Weird lines. There,
Not
he was
that little.
He's a weird,
5'10", dude.
tiny, short
5'10".
little man.
I don't feel like any of us are qualified to call him little.
Yeah, he's 5'10" and he's ripped to shreds to the point that, like, at the end of the movie, the villain's like, "You take care of yourself." I'm like,
Having seen
comment.
like people work out for movies, we've got all the Marvel movies and like Creed and stuff. When this guy was on the beach,
all right.
I was like, "Yeah, he's kind of small."
You're gonna compare
Like,
compare him to the Creed guy. That is one of the biggest movie characters
if
I've
you're
ever
gonna
seen.
put in the line, "Damn, your body looked good, boy," he better look fucking good, and he didn't.
Here's the
He
thing,
looked
he looked-
okay.
Hey,
my
he's still
opinion-
skinny enough to fit through a door.
In my opinion, he looked more realistic than the guys you're talking about. I look at those guys and I go, "Oh, they were on a crash diet for 6 months with a fucking really expensive trainer so that they could be this part in this movie." That's not
no, but the bad
real.
guy didn't say, "Damn, your body looks realistically fit." He said, "Wow, you take
Okay,
real good care of your
He's
body."
fitter than anyone in this room by a long shot.
That's fair.
so-
Sure.
All right. Ian, sorry to interrupt. I just couldn't handle him calling him tiny when I think he's
Oh
taller
no,
than
I was
Javier.
done.
If he's
Yeah.
5'10", he's not taller than me.
What, like an inch shorter?
I'm like 2 or 3 inches taller than him.
You're not that much taller than me.
I'm 6 foot.
You're okay, so you're
5'11"
2
and
inches
3/4.
taller.
Yeah,
That's
2 inches.
you are
Assuming
2
that he's
inches.
actually 5'10", which I'm not convinced.
And you act like you're 2 inches. Ah.
Oh wow!
You want to see 2 inches, baby?
You know what? He's securing his masculinity.
I am securing my masculinity.
Exactly.
We've already talked about the size of my dick
know.
in a previous recording.
What's our next topic?
Next time.
Wait, I don't get to talk.
Yeah,
I
I
think
was
Ethan
waiting
Hunt
on-
won. He's the
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, he's
too.
better.
Why?
Because he's way more exciting to watch. He's an actual spy. Like, he's getting shit done. Whereas James Bond, he's a poker player that can punch someone. I felt like I watched that Kevin Spacey movie, 21, where he just like learned how to count cards and taught a bunch of kids. I'm like, damn, if I was going to watch a poker movie, I would have watched a poker movie.
Are you, Ethan Hunt might have been someone who can sprint and rock climb and is a spy. That's what I thought he was. I mean, if that's
He
what
did spy things, He infiltrated meetings, and like he scaled a building with one glove. That's dope stuff.
what's wait
all
to get to
James
that?
Bond did was like fight someone in a stairwell. Oh, yeah, Ethan Hunt, baby, for the win. He's big.
You know what else James Bond did? He used a satellite to find a location in the Bahamas that he could go infiltrate and find more information about. Ethan Hunt, we're not going to talk about the gadgets yet, but don't even get me started there.
Actually, we are. It's a good lead in.
Let's go. Let's talk about that glove.
Started, Mattson. Let's hear it.
Apparently, you can have a railway car. I think in Russia is the one they went into, and it has every conceivable spy contraption you can think of.
That was provided for them because he had a
because
friend,
they thought he was going to scale a glass building in Dubai, and then one of them decided not to work.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, Ethan Hunt, he's an actual spy. If we were getting stuff for James Bond, we'd just get him a shit ton of condoms.
Let me read.
Right?
Hold on. Let me just read my problem with Ghost Protocol. I didn't even realize. I didn't even get all these things down. They had a water noisemaker, which I thought that was kind of cool. Remember, they were in the Kremlin. That was
so
cool.
dumb. They're like, how do we get this guy away from his desk? Water drip.
Yeah. And
drip.
then they had that cool picture maker where they were able to focus on the guy's eyes and have the statue. They had the glue gloves, as I called them. They had to have Oakley glasses.
Wait, can we circle back to this thing that like projected the hallway? I feel like that is a very situationally specific device because like one other dude showed up and it just like freaked out.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
oh shit! Like, who do I?
What if there was two?
Well, yeah, it's because it's trained on their eye.
Yeah, like from their perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, but it can't. I don't
oh yeah,
know.
you're fucked if there's more than one
Right,
person.
that seems.
It's straight up.
In what situation would there only be one person ever at the end of a hallway ever?
I'm just glad that it was the right size for the Kremlin hallway.
Yeah.
I mean, because
God forbid it wasn't.
Dude, these guys can print masks. I think they can build a freaking screen to size.
Thankfully,
do you think they infiltrated the Kremlin and measured it?
And I was
then
gonna say,
came
yeah.
back the next day.
Maybe they just had standard Kremlin-sized hallways, and that's just common knowledge.
Because the
you know?
blueprints for the Kremlin, you just Google that
Yeah.
shit and you got it.
It's just in like the CIA archives.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck. That's more lockdown than Langley.
I'm
and this
trying to
shit.
think. I'm
We
trying
know
to-
exactly how big that is.
what else did they have?
No, I have a question. I want to talk about
so
these
many
gloves.
things.
Okay, I would get
gloves.
it if he's climbing like a metal structure and they're magnetized.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Or if, he showed... What the fuck makes these things stick?
little octopus arms, you know, like the little.
It seemed like it was a vacuum.
Then show me the octopus arms. And if it's a vacuum, it needs some sort of fucking... Every vacuum, you have to have a vent that pushes the air that it's sucking out. Didn't have that shit because his little hair would have been blowing out in his face.
Maybe
And
it went down like his
No,
arm and back, and
they only went to
didn't.
his forearm.
that's true. That's a really good.
I'm
Or
just
don't get me
wondering, I
started
was like,
when
what the fuck did
he
cause
still
him
held
to
onto the
stick?
side of the building when he fell what looked like 20 or 30 feet and his arm didn't get ripped out of his socket
Yeah.
thanks to the glove.
It's because he was buff, dude.
And he also scaled that thing in it was like 3 minutes or something. I had a problem with the timeline there because
What story were
we
they
don't
on?
know. They didn't
Yeah,
expand.
they didn't. So he could have only been like 3 stories down.
Could have been like a story down, but then
Yeah.
he had to do the graceful. Let me run all the way over and jump like a ballerina,
Oh,
and
when he was coming back.
smash my head on the freaking window, and then they're gonna grab me
That
and
was
save.
awesome.
Yeah.
Where he's like, your light is too short. He's like, no shit.
And then Benji comes back in, and what did he say? Like, oh man, that was stressful.
but I did it.
Which that part was super funny. But man, there was too much tech in this movie for me. In Ghost Protocol, was the beamer really cool? It was awesomely cool. That beamer was like the prototype
Sandstorm
beamer.
one?
The one,
No, the one they took to the party.
Yeah, the one that,
Oh, yeah, okay.
that one was really
There's
cool.
a ton of beamers in this movie.
Yeah, but the prototype one, the one that's not a
one,
real car.
the memorable
concept
one.
car.
But I appreciated having. I watched Casino Royale second, and I was surprised. I thought there was going to be more gadgets than what there were, and because remembering
Were there
back
gadgets?
to that point,
Little bit in the car.
All they had was they used phone decryption to put in. I'm trying to remember what part he used that at. Freak, I don't remember. They had satellite cameras when he looked up the Bahamas.
Oh, he had his phone that had like a 3D layout of the hotel. Right?
Yes,
Which looked like it was on like an MP4.
They put the GPS tracker inside of his body, and then his Ashton Martin, had a gun, but then conveniently had a medic kit, which
Well, it showed all that when he first got in the car. It had like 4 layers of shit that came out of it.
I guess is realistic
box.
that you could
Yeah.
have that stuff. But I appreciated that about it. It felt what I would think a spy. It's going to be more minimalist. Where Ghost Protocol, I mean, maybe the IMF is just super rich and they have every conceivable piece of technology you could ever imagine. But I appreciated that from the James Bond movie because it felt more realistic of what I would envision it to actually be like.
So I think the disagreement that we're having is that I love out of control, unrealistic spy movies.
And that's what Ghost Protocol was that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like these absurd movies
It
where
was
they're
so
like,
absurd.
they like pull a rocket launcher like out of his back pocket and it's like expands into something, right? And he blows like a building halfway to hell. I'm like,
Or the
that-
chrome rocket launcher in the presidential rig.
I'm all for just these absurd gadgets and just absurd like stunts and shit. And so I just got really bored when James Bond was seducing his 9th woman for the movie. I was like, come on,
He
man.
only seduced 2.
Go fight another dude in a
Exaggerated.
bathroom. That was awesome.
In fact, I think it's the least amount of women that were seduced in a James Bond movie
That's
ever.
what I think is funny about your comments is they took a step back from that.
Yeah, from everything. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, like, because the originals, especially
Just straight
Pierce
up
Brosnan ones,
womanizer.
the 4 that Pierce Brosnan were in were like a Mission Impossible level tech. Like, he had all this bullshit that was so unrealistic and stupid that I'm like, oh, fuck off. And I hated it. Just like I hated this one in IMF. Now, here's the thing is, Mission Impossible, like the first Mission Impossible,
Super
one of my favorite movies. And it has tech, but it's some unreal. Like, they had a piece of gum that you put together that turns into a fucking bomb, plastic explosive.
Red light, green light.
Yeah, red light, green light. And don't get me wrong, I look at that and I go, that's ridiculous. But I was okay with it.
I feel like most people don't like that movie,
I
JJ.
love
The most
the
people
first
that I
one.
know
Really?
I'm taking my sister-in-law Lindsay. She loves the Mission Impossible movies, but the new movies, the funny, like outlandish. That when we watched the original, she just absolutely hated it because it was in my opinion too real, too like cold.
It's a very cerebral movie.
And
yeah.
And she didn't like that word, these new ones. And Ghost Particle is kind of kicking off the new age Mission Impossible that we see today.
Yeah.
It's just, as Javier talked about, it's in your face, it's over the top, it's
exciting. It's fun to watch.
It's something.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing that it wasn't fun to watch, but I don't know. I feel like I need my spy movies to tread a little closer to what James Bond
British.
was.
This one was just a little more than any other. Like, I think that's my problem with this one is it was a little silly and the tech was way over the top.
It's
Awesome is what it was.
Like the
I mean, what did they I expect them to have like a super awesome fly swatter, like just in case. Like they could have had that too. You could have had flies wherever
Why
we
wouldn't a
were.
regular fly swatter work?
Because they would have had something cooler.
because they have vacuum gloves.
Yeah, dude.
And really big magnets. But magnets,
Oh yeah, the magnets. So we didn't even talk about that.
magnets that don't affect the actual vent or anything around it, just the individual.
Just
that's
the
following.
suit.
Yeah, just a focused magnet.
Oh, fuck.
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or that thing at the beginning when they vaporized the floor and it made a perfect circle.
Oh, that was so
I was
cool.
like, what was that?
I was like, oh,
is this-
jailbreak.
Thanos or something.
That was awesome.
Stand back. So dumb. Anyway, so for me, I give the tech again to James Bond.
I
Just
do
because it
too.
was subtle.
It didn't have any tech. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, dude, he had a defibrillator in his car. That shit's cool. And an antitoxin.
But I feel like if it's something that I could potentially get my hands on, I don't know that I would classify it as like tech.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, I could go find a defibrillator.
Fair.
I could go find a pistol. Like those.
But that shit
He
wouldn't
didn't
be
really
in a
have,
drawer
like-
in your car that comes out automatically.
It could.
Oh, I feel like I could figure that out.
If
I mean,
anyone could figure it out, it's Ian.
Well, no, I believe that too. And if you did figure it out, I won't.
I don't think I'm disagreeing with anything that he's saying. To me, was eye opening because a lot of what a spy would need is probably things that we would conceivably use and have. They just actually are going to use that defibrillator or that poison kit where I'm just going to McDonald's and eating a cheeseburger. I'm probably fine. But yeah.
But I get your point.
yeah,
I see it. Tech's probably the wrong word, right? Like it's his tools, maybe.
I mean, I guess you could go with
Tools of the
something like
trade.
that.
His tools.
I think we should have
Nice.
done like the cars, the Aston Martin versus the Beamer.
Aston Martin was dope. I'm a
Well, I want
sucker.
the Aston
no,
Martin.
Aston
I'm
Martin-
a sucker.
Aston
It's
Martin.
not even
for
a
me.
question. Aston Martin any day of the week.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Beamer's cool, but it's not fucking real. Like I
Yeah.
can't own that car.
Yeah, that Aston
which was
Martin
one
was
of.
dope.
And there's
Because I
just
think
Doesn't that make you want it more?
I think it looks
That's a
cool.
good point.
I mean, yeah, but no, because
I felt
the
bad-
insurance on that's going to be outrageous.
felt bad for
because
that
it doesn't
car.
actually exist.
He got in it for. I was like, I wrote down car chase scene because I forgot, and then he's in it for like what the movie shows 30 seconds, and then poor old Aston Martin just.
But that's a different Aston Martin, right? Because in the beginning of the movie, he gets a 64.
Yeah.
Aston
Yeah,
Martin.
yeah, the 64
The one
I'm
he
talking about-
totals is like a.
It's like a
It was
DBS.
at the time. It was like a 2006. Or
Yeah.
something.
That's the one I want.
That was
was
car.
baller.
I'd take either of them.
Did they actually crash that?
Yep.
Oh yeah, they crashed three of them actually.
Shut up,
They did
really?
Three different.
Oh,
They
I thought
used
just
three different
had
ones.
the one.
No,
Dude.
because they needed three different angles on
That
it.
should be
So
a
they
crime.
totaled it
So they
three
totaled.
times.
They totaled three different Aston Martin.
Oh, that's so cool.
Who gets to write
was
that
it?
in
The
the budget?
Vanquish? The Aston
Yeah,
Martin Vanquish?
we're gonna need 3 Aston Martins. Oh, cool. What for? We're gonna fuck them up, dude.
Why do you think it costs $300 million to make movies, dude? Because they fuck
Jeez.
shit up all the time. That's half the budget's the shit they break. All right, so let's talk about the villain in these movies. So in the one we have, I don't even remember his name. All I remember is the fact that he's John Wick's villain, Michael Nyqvist.
Oh yeah.
which made me really sad for Mission Impossible because he's such a cool actor. And I feel like that villain was so understated and boring.
Yeah, he reminded me of an insurance agent.
Yeah, like the only time you really see him is 2 times. You see him walking out of the Kremlin
with a briefcase,
which I thought, okay,
Gets
that's a
a little
cool
nod.
fucking introduction to him, right? Because he's just walking out like, I just kicked your ass. But then the end, when at the end when they fight, like they're setting up the whole, I was like, oh, you're so fucking boring. What a waste of this actor. I didn't like him.
and they the problem. Then they made Ethan Hunt's character look like a wimp because he's fighting this dude that's way older than him that he should just be destroying because he's the top IFA agent. Like that part annoyed me, but. Going back
IFA?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't that like
I'm
he sell some ice cream?
I'm not getting fertilizer. Sorry.
I just know they make good ice cream.
But I really resonate with JJ's point that this guy, I didn't have a lot of notes or anything about him because we never really got to him.
Yeah.
It was the other guy, his like second in command that he was actually impersonating wearing the mask. But I just felt like we didn't know who this dude was.
Yeah. Well, and even the bit villains, right? The assassin, and like there was no depth to them whatsoever. Like I didn't look at him and go, oh, here's a villain. I was like, the villain is more the nuclear launch, right? Like their plan is the actual villain to me in this movie. So it made it really hard for me to connect with the urgency. Because I was like, these villains are obviously inept. If you can put them on the same floor in the same fucking hotel and make them think that they're in completely... I'm like, oh, God, these guys are morons.
Well, that's the other thing about the Mission. I think most of the Mission Impossible movies I've seen is I'm always really confused about who the bad guy is. I'm like, oh,
true.
She killed him. She's the bad guy. It's like, oh, no, we're meeting with these 2 guys. These 2 guys are the bad guys. Oh, wait, no. That guy, he bombed he's the bad guy. And it's just like, we have like 9 bad guys in this movie. At least in James Bond, we have one.
That's a good point.
Weird, bloody-eyed guy who's generally like, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yeah.
I liked him.
To that point, I
thought we got to know Le Chiffre. We knew they gave some backstory about him being like a super high IQ chess wizard. Then he was the accountant, handled the money. We saw where some of the money came from. He was obviously trying to short stock. We saw the motivation of, well, why are we blowing up a plane? Okay, he wants to short the stock. He's going to make a ton of money off of that. He's done it before. And then, well, why did he need to go to the Casino Royale? Because he needed to make the money back. Yeah. And then it went south. Well, why is he trying to kill James Bond? All that lined up for me and made a lot of sense. And I liked the way that he did it. And bleeding from your eye, it's a pretty good trait for a bad guy.
I think if this guy is as smart as they portray him to be, like, there's nothing else besides hosting a poker game that he can do. This guy's shorting the stock market, and that fails. He's like, well, I guess I'll go wash cars or I'll play poker. Like, that's it. There's nothing else this guy can come up with. I thought that was weak.
Just counts money.
I think it was because he was so dang good at poker. It was like,
He's though.
This is the easiest way.
He's like, I'm good with calculation. And then James Bond gets in there.
What accent was that?
From Batman, you know? You know the guy who's like, I'm good with calculation, you know?
No.
You know?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What character? What Batman?
The one with Heath Ledger, you know? Anyway, so this guy's like, I'm really good at math. And James Bond's like, I can read people, but not better than this chick who's a treasured desk jockey. I'm just apparently just average at this for pretty much just an average agent. And he gets in there and he's like, but watch my superior analytical people skills beat out counting cards in poker. And I'm like, what is this bullshit show off of skills? The guy counting cards is gonna win.
Well, you can't count cards in poker. You can calculate your odds.
Yeah.
Counting cards is only in blackjack because there's a literal mathematic ratio.
This guy is calculating the odds of whatever.
So is James Bond because he talks about there was a couple of hands where he talks about he has a 12-point whatever chance or 21% chance to land.
That's fair.
So he was doing the same thing. The calculations of poker actually aren't that hard once you learn the. Not for me.
Okay, then I go back to...
I'm dog shit at math.
If just any dude who's above average at math can be good at calculating odds at poker, then what is this guy doing? Like, I'm hella good at math. I'm going to play some poker. You don't have to be hella good at math, apparently, to play poker.
Well, no, you do. I'm not saying that I can do it. I'm just saying there are algorithms out there. If you're good at math, you can figure out the percentages based on the cards that are on the table, especially in Hold'em, when you're looking at the flop and then the river and then everything else, you're looking at these cards, you can start to go, there's only so many of these in the hand. There's chances of them getting this landing. So you have to be able to calculate that. You need to be really good at math, which helps him. The difference between the two was Le Chiffre wasn't good at reading people. He had to cheat to beat James Bond the first time because he had the help of the other guy telling him that's what he thought his tell was, or that's what his tell was.
That's my point. He's not good at poker.
But he's good at poker against everybody that can't read people. Most people that play poker in that situation, you get a bunch of rich people that just want to go in and piss away money and have a good time at an exclusive poker game. They're not going in and have the ability to look at the averages of what's going to happen and read the people next to them. They're there to piss away money.
Bond was coming.
Well,
He knew
which
that
is
there
why
were
he tried
federal
to kill
agents
him
coming.
like 3 times. That's why he tried to kill him and get rid of him.
But
Yeah,
I would agree
he knew
that
beforehand that Bond was coming.
I would
he didn't know until he got
And
signed
you're
up.
not, if you're not good enough at poker to win $150 million, then why are you playing poker?
Dude, he's a villain. All he's got to do is defeat one person outside of the game and he wins. If it weren't for Bond, he wins. So and to him, he's going,
But
all I got to do is...
if we're just stealing $150 million, there's other ways to steal that kind of money.
Where?
Yeah, I don't think so.
$150 million?
Yeah. Well, how?
I don't know. I'm not a villain.
Exactly. $150 million isn't just fucking hanging around somewhere.
You
dude.
get 7 people together and they have
But to him, it was
$150 million.
To him,
you go
it
rob
was like
7 people.
stealing. To him, it was like stealing 150
You
million
go
because he could
rob
say,
a few banks.
but
You
you
target
can't-
like a
but
mint
you
or a
can't-
treasure.
He has
You
all that
can't
heat
do that
power.
shit in one night, dude. In 2 days, you can't
He
steal.
can't win poker in one night.
Only...
a night and a half.
Fucking hell.
Like I'm just saying
Yeah, but-
that this movie is trying to make me believe that this guy is a mega genius and he's shorting the stock market. He's tactical, he's strategic, he's analytical, and the best thing that this dude can come up with is playing poker. And he's not even that good at playing poker.
You know what he should have done is went and stole the tech from IMF and then sold that.
Yeah, dude, that's probably worth 150
That's
mil.
fair.
Yeah, like the
Go steal a
magnet thing
plane.
alone.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Except the magnet thing fell apart. One glove stopped working.
Oh,
you're
no,
talking about
I'm
the
talking
magnet
about
thing.
the-
I got
That
you,
was
I
a
got you.
great comment from Ian. I like that one.
Fuck it up.
I don't know.
Oh, Javier, you made
I
me
just
laugh.
thought it made a good movie plot.
I thought it was genius. I like the idea of it's a cover for a rich man's poker game. They're going to come in dumping money. If you know you're going to win, with the exception of one person who you didn't know until he signed up and showed up, and all you got to do is kill him, he just fucking couldn't get it done.
Not even good at killing people. Not good at poker. Not good at
Well,
killing
he's not
people.
that kind of villain. He's a fucking money guy.
He's not a good villain.
Yeah, when you described him as a private banker, I was like, oh, that makes him sound like not that great of a villain.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at the end of the day, he's not the actual villain.
Yeah, it's just a part
He's
of a greater whole.
He's a part of the greater whole, which is the idea. This is a setup movie, but I liked him. I liked the intensity. I liked the fact that he was flawed. To me, he wins the villain.
It's better than the other guy. We don't even know his
The other
name.
guy I don't even care.
I don't even know who the villain
State
is.
Farm
in the
agent.
movie, so I guess
The only thing I remember is they said he had 190 IQ. That's the only thing I remember.
call him like Cobalt or something.
Yeah, Cobalt.
Isn't
that's
that
right.
like a tool brand?
Or
I thought Cobalt was his second in command. No, maybe that was that
Cobalt
guy.
was
type of
the guy.
metal?
It is a type of metal.
Look at that. That was smart. You should play poker.
Yeah, maybe you got 150 million.
But you only needed 10 million.
Apparently, you know where to find it. Where do we at next? What's
It's
our
all right.
next topic?
Bernard will stake you in the game.
Oh, dude, I saw Bernard.
Hey, he did something.
Yeah, I was
He
like,
realized
finally.
Well, he realized he was so crappy that he had to get someone else to do it for him.
And I'm just like, the CIA's just like, yeah, send this dude. This guy's like, I don't even know how to play poker.
Hey, America had a nice sign up though. Does it look like we need the money?
Oh, yeah, I love
Guess
it.
not.
Nope.
Yeah, and then you've got like the British government that's like, where's our $10 million? We're going bankrupt without it.
You cannot have half of what you just lost.
How do the Brits feel about that? 1776,
Maybe that's why they
which
don't have
is
any gadgets. They just can't afford that.
why we revolted.
Oh, God.
Took all your money along the way.
All right. So
Doing it better over here in America.
We were. Let's talk about the teams, which, and this is the one place where I feel like,
No contest.
Yeah, James
Mission
Bond didn't
Impossible.
really like have a team.
He didn't want a team. He had a
I
tiny
will
little
say
team that
this.
was-
In 2006, when I saw this movie, did I find Eva Green very attractive? And did
Oh.
I like her on his team? Oh, you bet your bottom dollar I did. That's all I have to say.
And now in 2020,
I still find Eva Green extremely
She's attractive.
So she went from very attractive to just attractive.
My stance has changed a little bit because I've seen her in other movies that she just comes off a little bit like not as much as what I thought in 2006.
What does that mean?
I don't know, I'm not as attracted to her now because I've seen her.
Because she's a strong, powerful, independent white woman.
I was going to say, you need to stop because he's about to walk you into something I'm going to have to fucking edit.
No, because she was in Miss Peculiar. There's some movie that movie was just weird. I was like, she's weird.
House of Horrors.
So I can't take that image of hers in my head, and she's not as cool and suave and witty as she was in 2006.
Was she suave and witty in this one?
Yeah, when she takes on James Bond in the train, dude.
That was the whole point. That conversation when they met.
To shreds.
But Mission Impossible, without a doubt. Benji, the man.
Simon Pegg is the most amazing. I love Simon Pegg.
Pretty good team.
I just miss Luther in this a little bit. I just wish he was.
Yeah, it was sad that he was only in it at the end. But I get it. They were disavowed. He wasn't there as part of the team, so he had to go into hiding. That's what he was talking about at the end, where he's in a bunker or whatever. But yeah, I love Luther.
Where he was underneath like the San Francisco Bay for 2 days or whatever.
Yep, that's the one. Here's the thing: is I liked Jeremy Renner-ish.
He's a wimp to me.
I liked the team. I think either in the next one or the one before. In 3, one of them there was a guy named I can't think of the actor's name, but I liked that team better. But I like Jeremy Renner. I don't like that they tried to give him like some emotional tie where I'm supposed to like feel for him because of the situation that he was in.
Yeah.
With the whole wife and.
I'm still waiting for that guy to be in a good movie.
Dude, Hurt Locker's amazing.
He's in Hurt Locker?
Dude, he's the guy in Hurt Locker.
Oh, I actually really like Hurt Locker.
Yeah, he is the guy.
Can you publicly apologize to him right now?
No.
Okay, I tried.
He's also in The Town, fuckface.
Yeah, like I said, waiting for him to be in a good movie.
A good movie.
It goes college soccer.
But I thought Ghost Protocol built the movie to have a team, and they meant something to the movie. Where in Casino Royale, they kind of got placed with James Bond like towards the end of the movie, and it was really just about him and Eva Green. Mathis, screw him.
Mathis is a punk. I will tell you this though. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's a James Bond movie. Like he never has like a team, right? Like, so, I mean, he's got little like side characters that start to help him out.
He's got
He doesn't
M
have,
and
like,
Q.
a team.
Well, he's got and up until this point, this James Bond until like the 3rd movie into Daniel Craig's run, he didn't have Q.
Yeah.
But in the older movies and like in the books and stuff, they had Q, who's his tech guy, and then he had Penny Money, Money Penny. Sorry, flip that spoonerism. Money Penny. And M, and I will say this,
That's
Judi Dench. Oh my God, I love Judi Dench.
Who's Judi Dench?
M. You don't know who Judi Dench is?
Which
Why
one's
are you
M?
on this podcast? No, the old lady, his boss.
Oh,
Yeah, his
right.
boss.
M. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Short-haired lady.
Judi Dench. There is nothing that she's in that I just don't go.
What?
Wait till you watch Artemis Fowl.
Ooh, yeah, I haven't watched that.
But going back to M's character, why did she have? I wanted to ask you, why did she have a computer right next to her bed? That seemed like you had to like sit in front of. Are you doing it like right there? That just seemed weird.
No, that thing rotated. It was just a screen.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Oh, okay, that's
It
a
just
little
rotated.
better.
It's because
you need work-life
It
balance.
was a total
M
like,
has no-
early 2000s, like, look at this technology,
Yeah,
right? Like,
this
is the future.
But she had a laptop as well, so I'm like, why did you need that right there? You already had a laptop. Like, it's confusing.
because
to me.
M has no work-life balance.
I guess
M has none. She's like the ultimate.
she's got to deal with creepy
MI6.
people like James Bond, according to Javier.
She's the only
Tough
thing.
job.
She's the only thing
Super
from the Pierce Brosnan movies that I even can tolerate is the fact that she was in those as M as well. I love M. I just love Judi Dench. I think she's amazing. So yeah, but this one, no questions asked. The team was better in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Benji had some great one-liners.
Yeah, he did. I just love how clueless he is all the time. Like you guys were talking about, he just flew through a window. And he's like, "Oh man, that was so hard."
Like when he bends to when they're in that Kremlin hallway and he bends to like pick up the tablet and it's like his face just blown up over the hallway.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Cool. So we have theme songs on here we can talk about real quick. Mission Impossible is so iconic. Like you hear it and you're like, "Oh, that's Mission Impossible." And then for Casino Royale, one thing I love about the James Bond is they always get very unique theme songs for each movie that are based on the actual movie and the content within it. Mm-hmm. And starting with, they did it, I think, once with the Pierce Brosnan movies, but with Daniel Craig's James Bond. Every movie they've hired a famous musician to write and sing the theme song that's very relative to the movie itself. The most recent one is the little teeny girl. I can't think of her name. I don't like her music very much.
Daniel Craig.
But wait,
This fucking guy.
James Bond has a theme song. Or
James
is that
Bond
only
has theme music. He has a theme score.
Yeah, the theme. I had to get it in there.
Dude, when they launched into that in the beginning of the movie, it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
That's a James Bond intro, man. The James Bond intros are infamous for being
Whips
just
around
weird.
and he brings out his gun and then it goes like a circle and then it goes into his theme
But they have
song.
to do that though. That's the same thing as the Mission Impossible with
Was this your first James Bond movie?
No, I've seen this one before, and I think I've seen some other ones.
Have
I was
you
gonna
though?
say like
Have you though? Because you would
I
know.
honestly don't remember watching
Because you would
them.
remember like that as an icon. Like if you don't have that in.
I know that it is,
okay.
but just because it's iconic doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, but it's like funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I don't.
bad.
I don't like the long music intros with all the weird spinning colors and like the women's silhouettes and
love
that stuff's stupid.
That's iconic, Mattson. Have you ever seen a James Bond movie?
Oh, clearly I have. That you can get rid of.
If you had, you would know that that's pretty iconic. So,
Yeah.
This is why no one likes you.
I know. I'm very well aware.
Oh shoot! Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, they both have iconic, and yes, the score that's definitely something you
Got
hear.
JJ to sing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that singing.
I liked Casino Royale. I thought they used music to set the scenes of each new place they were at by playing some music. Or at least that's how I interpreted it, and I thought they did well with that.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. Besides the Mission Impossible theme song, nothing really stuck out to me.
All right, so should we rate these movies?
Let's do it.
Talk about which movie overall?
These ratings are getting harder and harder for me because I feel like I need to compare them to other movies that I've rated.
No, you see,
You
you
have
don't,
to
because
make
here's
them,
what
like,
happens. You just
consistent
go
and
with
stuff.
how you feel, and then it's kind of interesting is I guarantee if you just go with how you feel, you rate it, when we look back on what we've rated previously, you watch where it falls, and it'll fall, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Maybe not to you.
This is out of
we tend to prop up
What do you
movies
mean,
that
you
you
people?
hate.
Okay. Out of 5, right?
Yeah, out of 5. So you're going to start with...
Oh.
Yeah, no, I want
No,
you to
it's
start.
cool. I don't mind not starting.
Javier, give us a
Yeah,
slate.
Okay.
Bring us
So
on.
I'm going to start with Mission Impossible. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this a 2.5. It's fun.
I'm kind of surprised at that.
Oh wow, I am too.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not surprised. It's right on line with like White House Down and
yeah.
with what he rates it. Yeah, that
Right.
sounds
And
good.
I rated White House Down like a 3, right? Yeah. So it's right around there. It's fun.
I get that.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but like I don't watch these movies.
It makes sense to you.
Yeah.
You're
My mind
you're
is
our
a chaotic
outlier in the
place.
podcast most of the time. It's either me or you 99% of the time. One of us is the outlier. So
I'm going to give Casino Royale a 2 because it's not as good. It's not as exciting. And it took him a hell of a long time to actually finish that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we hit the arc of the movie and the movie went on for another 30 minutes. Like they kept like arcing and like trying to finish it and then arcing and almost finishing it. I'm like, holy shit, just finish this fucking movie. We get it. So anyway, yeah, it took too long to finish. The action was fun.
Are you rewatching either of these?
Oh, I'd rewatch Mission Impossible. I guess this is my second time watching Casino Royale, so I guess I have rewatched it. But like, I really pushed the first time I watched it. I think I pushed it really back into the recesses of my mind because it was traumatizing, traumatizingly bad.
God.
So probably not. I probably won't watch that one again.
All right.
That was deep.
Let's get JJ. We never get JJ in the middle of these.
This will be the second time I've gone second actually in
good.
rating. Went last week too. For Mission... No. For Mission Impossible...
He's gonna go for it. I know. Yeah, keep going.
He probably knows what I'm rating it 1. For Mission Impossible, I'll give this movie a 1.5. It's got some entertaining action scenes, but I don't think it's a good movie. I enjoy the Mission Impossible franchise for the most part, but this is the second worst movie. This felt like a filler movie to me. It doesn't fit within the rest of the... And I don't want to compare it too much to the rest, but I have to a certain degree. to me, it's a filler movie. They're like, we need to make another Mission Impossible. Let's throw some shit together. And that's what this movie feels like. It's disjointed. It doesn't connect to the rest of the universe to me other than the wife thing, which they drew out in such a weird fucking way in this movie. Because that's the only other part that's consistent throughout the others that actually connects to this movie. So I don't love it. I thought it was goofy, over the top. So 1.5. For James Bond, I give it a 4. It's not the perfect movie.
4.
Dude, this is my favorite James Bond movie in all of the franchise, and I have seen all of them multiple times with the exception of Pierce Brosnan's. I watched all of them once and yacked after every one of them because they're awful. This one is amazing to me. It's a little long in the tooth. There's some middle parts in the movie that I don't think were necessary. They drug out the poker game a little too long for me. I could have done without the whole... I think everybody understood the weight of the fact that this man had just lost a shit ton of his clients' money, and that's a dangerous thing. I don't need the African nationals or whoever that gangster
like constantly getting attacked by people.
Yeah, I don't need them to come in. The only thing that did was show you could have brought in the frightening aspects of this to Eva Green's character a different way. Vesper didn't need to be in the midst of this thing. I felt like that was overblown. I don't need that part, and it still would have been an effective movie. Especially where they're going to tack on at the end the extension of, guess what, this is a start of something movie, where the next movies, every other movie has followed very well with the start of this, and it led into the whole Spectre. So I really enjoy this as a new origin story for James Bond. I like the grittiness. I love the realistic nature of it's not about the gadgets, and it's about being a spy and doing what you have a license to kill, so fucking do it. I like that grittiness. So to me, this one's a 4. And I would watch James Bond. I watched Casino Royale multiple times moving forward. I'll never watch Ghost Protocol ever again. Ever.
Wow, that's saying a lot coming from JJ.
Ever. It's bad.
Not really. He said that about pretty much any movie that I like.
That's not unrealistic.
What's that say about you?
I think it says as much about me as it does about JJ.
Absolutely. That's why we're always the outliers. Ian, let's move on to you.
Yeah. I have one beef with Casino Royale that I need to air out.
Okay.
And then I'll get onto my ratings, but I didn't know where to put it in. But you know, when he's chasing the second bomb guy through the airport and they get into like the Textron fuel truck, it really drove me nuts that truck would have exploded like 40 different times in any other movie. But this one, it's got holes, it's leaking fuel, it's running into other vehicles and all this stuff, and it doesn't blow up. And that was my one knock on Casino Royale. But I actually really like Casino Royale. In fact, it's been my favorite James Bond movie. I don't watch him as much as JJ does, but even with the new ones, I haven't enjoyed Skyfall or Spectre quite as much, but Casino Royale is kind of, I've got maybe a little bit of nostalgia with it. So I enjoyed going back and watching this one again. I like that they kind of broke the James Bond mold that they had before, because it wasn't that appealing. It was pretty much the exact same movie over and over, which you can argue that even this one is to a point. But so I'm right in line with JJ. I'd give it a 4. I would go back and rewatch it. It's one that I've enjoyed over the years and will continue to enjoy. Mission Impossible, I think it's one of those that once you've seen it once, like, you're good, you're solid. Like, it's worth watching one time, but it's not something that I would go back and rewatch. The tech was way too convenient for me. It just kind of got to be annoying.
What happens when you've got money, dude?
I guess
you
so.
got convenient stuff.
For being disavowed, they sure had a lot of access to.
That's a good point, actually.
But the other thing that I didn't really like about Mission Impossible is I felt like they started up like 3 or 4 different missions, and they just kept starting up another mission, and then you'd screw it up or something would go wrong, and then I'd have to do another mission and screw it up and do something wrong.
Should you choose to accept it, like 9 times in the movie.
It's just like where I'm used to, here's the overarching like mission, take some time, tell a story rather than just fill it with a bunch of tech. But I'll give it a 2.5. I'll agree with Javier on this one.
Wow.
That's twice in one podcast.
I'm looking for opportunities.
I'm getting it right here. I'm on cloud 9 right now. Right in my diary.
Yeah, it's a middle of the road movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's the middle of the road, like the town. Middle of the road.
Okay, now we're back to
Middle of a
disagreeing.
dead end road. All right, Mattson.
All right, I'll be the caboose. Everyone's kind of said a lot of what I was going to say. One thing I wanted to bring up, having watched both these movies in succession, as you guys heard me talk about earlier, James Bond, specifically Casino Royale, is a nostalgic spot for me. Really enjoyed this movie when I first saw it in theaters. Liked it again, but going up against Ghost Protocol, what was kind of broad, it was slow. Casino Royale had some spots that I wish, especially at the end. I really didn't like the Vespa thing, how they kind of tacked that on at the end where she had to give the money back to Javier.
Wait, is her name Vespa or Vesper?
Vesper.
Sorry.
Because Vespa is like a
Vespa.
moped,
I was
right?
like trying to think of like where I
you.
saw a scooter.
Yeah, I was like, was he like ramping out of this casino with like a little moped?
Missed that
An
part.
Aston Martin.
Apologies,
scooters.
audience. Nothing against Vespas, but I didn't like that. It was much too long. I thought they could have ended it at a higher note. That was kind of brought up to me in watching Ghost Protocol, where what I do think Ghost Protocol did well is it kept the action moving. It was consistent enough in a nature that kept me engaged, where Casino Royale's knock just felt like a couple of times it was waning, especially with the poker as well, where I wanted it to kind of jump back into just finding resolution there. So with that being said, though, I'm going to be right on line. Ghost Protocol is a middle-of-the-road movie. I'm a 2.5 as well. Would I watch it again? I might, because of Benji. He made it fun just so I can laugh at the ridiculous tech again. Maybe I'd rewatch
But
it.
there are better Mission Impossible.
Oh, without a doubt.
Benji in 'em.
Yeah, so if you're going to watch a Mission Impossible movie with Benji, there are better ones.
The later ones are much better, but middle of the road movie, Casino Royale, I think I'm going to go 3.5. I thought I was going to be a solid 4 when I started watching this movie, but to a couple of my talking points, it being a little bit slow.
And being like a weird little dude.
It is my favorite Mission Impossible. It is my favorite James Bond movie that Daniel Craig has been in by far. Probably my favorite one overall. Good movie, 3.5.
Sweet.
And I'd definitely rewatch it.
Cool. So where does that line up?
Yeah,
Now that we've all read
that's
it.
a great question. Let me tally
See if
that
the
up.
system works.
Do your thing.
Yeah,
for a
your
second.
theory that it lines up if we just follow our hearts.
Yeah. As long as here's the
Sounds
thing.
like some
Is it
kid
works?
movie.
Yeah, it's just, it'll all line up if we follow our hearts. There's Javier's new catchphrase. What's up, nerds? Remember, it'll all work out if we follow our hearts.
Maybe you should end the podcast like that.
Oh shit!
It'll all work out if we in these troubled times.
So Ghost Protocol was a 2 out of 5. And let's see here.
As long as it falls below the town, I will consider this a success.
Wow. Oh, I see how it is.
And then Casino Royale was we would round this up to a 3.4.
No, let's round it down.
It'd be round up by math.
Let's just round it down.
Good poker players.
Trust me,
would
I'm
play.
good at math. Okay. I can play
He can
poker.
play poker.
3.4 for Casino Royale.
So where does that fall? Like compared to the town? Because according to Javier, that's a middling movie.
Yeah, what did the town get?
The town.
Total.
That's a good
Because you guys had some like bullshit like votes on
The
that.
town got a 3.6.
Oh my,
see?
that's.
But you got to be happy because they both fell below the town.
Oh, that's true, huh? Yeah.
So it works. The system works
Yeah, it works.
because we followed. Our
I mean,
heart.
3.6 isn't middle of the road movie. That's an above average movie.
But it was only a middle of the road movie to you.
Right.
The rest of us, it was a good movie.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
You brought us down.
Yeah, I mean,
It's usually one of us.
it's got to be done.
All right. Well, that's that. We've gone through. That's the arbitration based on the topics and the ratings. You know, good old Casino Royale did win this arbitration, but not without some fight from Javier. He gave it his best shot, so he will not be successful in this particular arbitration.
Oh, can I ask Javier something really quick?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Crap.
What would you rather do?
What would you
I need to start
what would
thinking
you
about
rather
these.
do than watch Casino Royale again?
Okay. I guess on the theme of blocking out traumatic experiences, I'd rather go see my therapist than watch this movie again.
That's fair.
It's not exactly what I was expecting, but I like it.
Not ridiculously
It's realistic.
extreme. I was going to say, he's kind of realistic.
Nothing
I'm
with
okay
that. Nothing with the eyes.
According, or drinking bleach. which are all things he has to go see his therapist about.
I had a canker and gouged my eyes out with glass again. I don't see my
Stop
therapist
watching
for
those
that.
movies.
Seriously.
That's usually his advice.
Here's what your therapist tells you. Get out of this podcast.
If I went to my therapist with that, I would be institutionalized.
Don't worry.
He's like, wait, to get this straight, you watch The Town and you want to kill yourself?
Don't worry. We'd bring the podcast to you. On that note, Mattson, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
Where you can find us. We're on every social media platform worth mentioning, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at What's Our Verdict. You can find us on YouTube as well at What's Our Verdict. Come see some of our trailer reaction videos we're starting into the thick of. You can visit our new website at whatsourverdict.com. Come check out our podcast there. Come vote on what you'd like us to review next. You can slide into our DMs if you want to talk to us on social media. If you want to reach out to us via email at hosts@whatsourverdict.com. We always want to know what you want us to review or just your thoughts about our podcast, or if you just want to complain to Javier.
I'm always open to listen to some complaints. Bring it on. If you want to complain about me, I get that a lot too.
Or Jurassic Park.
If you want to chat about Jurassic Park, I could do it for hours. Seriously,
Yes.
just hit me up.
I don't know. Did I miss anything there?
No, I think you got it. Just make sure you guys go check out our sister podcast, What's Our Verdict TV. We review TV shows like Westworld, Waco.
That's it.
Yeah. And
The Witcher.
The Witcher. We did The Witcher. More to come. We just got to figure out what's
Apple Podcasts and
watching.
Spotify. You know where to find us on there.
Yeah.
Come listen.
Yep. All right, sweet. Well, everyone, that's the verdict, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye now.
Cinemagic Cap.
There it is.
Welcome back to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Mattson Heider.
Better red than dead.
He's just like...
The best part was like 5 minutes. I got this shit. Watch me.
What?
Hey, I was ready then.
Okay.